Florida Panthers come back next year and win it again? Or, like, where's your thought process on that, man? Like, what are you thinking?
No, they will not repeat again. And I'll tell you why. It's just too hard. You just, historically speaking, it would suggest it won't happen. But aside from that, and I'll tell you this, if they would have swept or like beat the Oilers in 5 games, then my answer would be different.
They almost beat them in 4. They literally almost beat them in 4.
But shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, right.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Who cares?
Yeah.
It didn't. Went to 7 games. So as much as I've been hailing the fucking Panthers this whole postseason, like, and I thought they're considered.
You were hardcore Panthers. I was hardcore Edmonton all season.
And that's why I was so dumbfounded how you even went to 7 games.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The fact they led to, and I know it shouldn't matter, but it's gonna matter, and I don't care what anybody says. The fact that they let it go to 7 games tells me that this team isn't as good as I thought they were.
Yeah.
If they would have swept them or 5 games, my mind would have said it's a somewhat good possibility. But because of the fact that it went to 7 games, I don't think so.
So here's my thought process on it. You hit one nail on the head really, really, really well. And that is, hockey, it's very hard to come back in 2-peat.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good teams. Like I just mentioned, I just name dropped 5 of them. You got the Bruins, you got the Hurricanes, you got the Avs, you got the Rangers, and you got the Lightning. So it's like you got these teams that are going to come back next year hungry.
Yeah.
Right? But then you got Connor McDavid. 6 years on the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah. Never made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. This year he makes it. Makes it Game 7. Loses by 1 goal. Dude, I think Edmonton comes back hungry next year. I think they come back hungry.
I think so too. And
but I don't think Florida wins it again next year. I don't. I teeter on a 30-40% chance range because it can happen.
For me, it's more like 20%.
Yeah.
It's more like 20%. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen. And most champions, I don't care what sport, NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA, like, people they don't repeat. Like, it's a fucking accomplishment just to win a championship.
Yeah.
And you gotta be special. Special. Well, they got Patrick Mahomes. He's like already a top 3 quarterback of all time.
Oh yeah. But we digress. So go ahead. So.
But yeah, it doesn't happen often. And it's not gonna be the Panthers. They're not an all-time team.
Now, if they play like they did this year, now the one thing I will say is that if you look at the statistics and the power rankings of what Florida did compared to like Colorado or what Carolina or what New York did, their road to success in the postseason playoffs was way harder than Florida's. Florida kind of skated. Honestly, but they made it look so good.
I disagree.
Other than they had one series, but I'll let you talk about it. They had one series where it was a dogfight, but
I disagree. Florida had tougher opposition, but they made it look easy.
They did make it look easy.
I can guarantee you, and I know it went to 7 games, and honestly, I think a part of it was because their mentality just wasn't there. They could have easily won in 4 or 5 games. I think the Rangers and the Bruins, the teams that they had to go through, is tougher than the Stars. And
I actually thought Boston and New York had a much easier. I thought they had a much easier road going down. Looking at when the playoff brackets came out, I thought Boston and New York was going to do better than they did. And then Florida obviously put.
Well, it went to 6 games. What are you talking about?
I'm saying I thought they would, but those games were like. They were super close. Like, I thought Boston and New York were going to make it look easier than they did. Is what I'm saying. I thought they were going to skate faster than they did. So they drew those series out, but I thought they were going to go a little bit further.
So, like 7 games?
Well, no, I'm saying I mean,
not every series can go 7 games.
Go further. No. I mean, they as a team go further instead of getting knocked out.
Well, they ran into a Florida Panthers team.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's what happened. It's like you coming against the LeBron. Like, you go against LeBron, you lose. You don't go any further. You don't get any further. I don't care how good you are. You lose.
Okay.
But
so here's the final wrap up, I guess, because we got to keep this under 20 minutes here. But I think I think we both agree. Can it happen for Florida to go back to back?
Sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
Is it probable?
Probably not.
I think we both agree on that. So I think we're on that. I'm going to give them a 30-40%. You're giving them 20%.
It's 20%.
Yeah, I'm going to give them 30-40 just because their team doesn't change. They're not losing anybody.
So is a lot of teams don't change.
I know. They're not. But I think if they play the same way they do, they have a really
I can't tell you how many odds I see on ESPN. Oh, they're returning the same team. If anything, they get better. They're more experienced.
Football, that's a huge thing. Hockey, it's hard to be like, well, they're not losing anybody.
Even for football,
football is a huge factor because if you don't lose anybody on your team and you go to the fucking Super Bowl, you're going to be the same team next year.
Okay. Well,
so.
Well, now everyone's the Chiefs. Like, dude, okay. But I don't care.
The Chiefs are getting some of the most disruptive things and we'll talk about that in a minute, but.